talked about the empathy, you talked about experiences, you talked about personalization. And now, one side we are talking about these things, which is very important. And I think very difficult for any machine to track all these things. And at the same time, for example, what kind of restaurant or what kind of location I choose when I am in a particular set of mind. For example, if I am very happy, so I want to go to Uti because that is the place close to my heart, and I always want to go to the Uti or Goa. And when I am sad, I want to go to one restaurant that is located in Kormangla. This is my trend, and through our means, it is captured, and there is a similar data we are able to capture, because that machine is not able to capture whether the person is happy or sad when he's going to Kormangla, or whether this person is happy or sad when he's going to Goa or Uti. So do you see this is going to remain like this, or already some work is started happening in this area, or this is going to impact something in future? I should ask this question, where this is going and how this is going to be tracked and how this is going to impact our life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great question as well, because we're talking about a very human side. It's
Yeah,
about empathy, compassion, feelings, emotions. Now, if all of this can be automated onto, let's say, a machine or a robot, so that's what people are aspiring to achieve. That's what people
okay,
want to do. They're experimenting with that because now
okay,
they've been able to crunch a lot of, let's say, data to reduce the operational part of it. So the neural systems, the neural engineering is something that they want to also preempt. So when a person is going through, let's say, a conversation of this kind, it's just like, the other day I was watching with my son something on Netflix, and I forget what it was. Two friends who are playing a game in remote places, and all they
right,
had to do was put a button on their forehead. Okay, it's a button that they put on their forehead, and it takes them to a totally different realm. Okay, so now these are all things that are already being viewed as something, but I think what we have to look at is ethical part of it. How is it going to keep track of values that are important to individuals, organizations, ecosystems, landscapes, all of those things? Because if that gets compromised, because not every emotion can be preempted, because there are internal triggers for a human being to behave in a particular
right,
manner. Those are some things. Let's say when you're having a negotiation across the table, yeah, and this is a design thinking engagement that I did for one of our telecommunication clients a couple of years ago. So they want to actually preempt what buyers going to buy when they go into their entertainment store. Okay, so it is about understanding the emotions. It's not just about them being told to say whether they are happy, sad. It's not about pressing a button, because they can press a button which is green, but deep inside they can feel differently. So it has to
right,
be picked up through sensors. So this is the way in which people are looking at taking experiences for their customers at a later stage. But again, there are questions around ethics. In fact, the other day there was somebody who was talking about data sciences and the kind of ethics that need to go into data sciences. And what are we doing about it? Right? There is a lot of discussion happening in that front. In our craze and quest to bring in innovation, we can't compromise ethics, values, and the human part of it. Some part of it might be replicated for the sake of a robotic or an automation, but not all of it can be, is my thought. But when I talk to a couple of youngsters, they say even that is possible. So the point is, how far do we want to go? And like someone else said, do you really want to play God, right? Do you really want to meddle with some things that are happening at a slightly cosmic level? Do we want to tamper with it? And that's where the question around, where do you draw a line? Because innovation that is going on at a breakneck speed, there is exponential innovation happening, change being addressed, right? So there is disruptive innovation that is happening. And, a lot of it is actually bringing countries together. It's a level playing field. And when Friedman spoke about the world is flat. And he spoke about my organization actually, and he was looking at how things are being stitched together, and you are looking at a 24/7 kind of a GDM kind of an environment. And he spoke way back in the late 90s when he was viewing what was happening in our organization. The point is that it is possible. A lot of things are going to change, and it is changing. Earlier, it was happening in an incremental manner. Now it's happening in a more rapid manner. But the question is, let's say gender, right? Gender diversity, sustainability, ethics, values. These are some of the things that are a little difficult but have to be taken along. Inclusiveness need to be taken along as part of this journey in our quest to innovate and bring about some change. Are we doing everything that will also take, let's say, our senior citizens, right? The other day I was looking at something where a lot of senior citizens felt that they were getting lost in this entire thing. I don't know how to use even as simple things like my WhatsApp and the video out there. And we're also talking about a populous country, right? Where not everyone has access to technology. Not everyone has access to awareness and education. And I think what is currently happening is they're trying to bridge the gap by trying to connect through some of, let's say, an Aadhaar or something that is going to help people stay connected and become aware of what's happening around. So are we there to say, hey, you know what, I think the changes have? No, we've got to take billions of people along with us, not just in our country, in different countries as well. So we have a beautiful opportunity to innovate and see how some of these aspects like inclusiveness or information that is being disseminated across. Is it the right information? How can people make sense of the loads of information that's coming? These are all things also that need to be addressed. And we're talking about a young generation that is being overexposed to devices, right? How are we dealing with that? So I think there is a lot of opportunity still to fix and also to bring in innovation.